What's going on, people? Welcome to Ears to the Streets with Factor Entertainment. Me, I am your host, Ace G, and once again, we back at y'all, mother. I got my co-host off grid on Cole, and we have two lovely ladies joining us, Linnea and Michelle. I appreciate everyone for coming. How's everyone feeling tonight?
Good.
Good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem, no problem, no problem. So, we got to get into it, man. We've been on the roll. So much information is just coming out. We talking to the right people, we meeting the right people, and that basically letting us know that a lot of these conscious community figures that are at the top ranks and people you love and people you send all your money to and put all your emotions into are robbing y'all fucking blind. Robbing the community blind. You know what I'm saying? So, we do. You see the title, Black Power Scamming. Are you a sucker for Black Power to the point where you won't see any results, but you're willing to give all the little pennies you got? You know what I'm saying? Just to be, are you a social media groupie at this point? You just gotta ask yourself. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? So talk to me off grid. You know what I'm saying? What's your take on this Black Power scamming these people? Some of these figures, some of these social media figures who got all these classes and all this land and all whatever, but we don't see no results. Talk to me a little bit.
What I noticed from the instance of when we first was talking about going over here, because as I stated before, we used to come out here on 69 acres on the weekend. We were strictly, I guess, what you would call weekend warriors. I go for that. We were weekend warriors. We would pack up for the weekend. We would come out here on a Friday night and we would camp out and we would low key, build some things and go hiking and surveying the land and just getting acclimated in it. But each week we would bring items out here. Bring items out here, and we started coming out here on the weekdays. So before you know it, we had one pantry out here built up back then, and we had this situation, shower and everything. It wasn't as built up as it is now. It wasn't as convenient as it is now, but we built it up to where it was comfortable pulling up here. 3, 4 in the morning in the middle of the woods, we was comfortable. We couldn't wait to get here. It was always a lovely feeling pulling up. So then COVID happened, and we came out here full fledged, and that's when we're gonna be here. We didn't leave the camp at all in the beginning of COVID. There was nowhere to go,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't want to wear masks, so we were out here, and that's when we went extreme building. We just started just building. Came out those tents and grabbed them pallets and started buying wood, hooking it up. So we had always had a mantra that telling people to come out here, come out here, help us build what we building. We'll help you build your little cabin, and you'll have a safe place to retreat to in case something happens.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow that got lost in translation. I really don't understand how, but I do know that thing I learned from Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He said that you must speak the language of the people in order to convey the correct message to the people. You can't go to people in a certain area and speak 16 and 17 syllable words and they're not understanding that. You have to speak the language of the people. And I thought we were doing that. But the message was getting misconstrued with we were saying, F the government, F where you work at, F society, come out here with us. And we never said that. That's not even realistic to think someone was doing that unless they on a run, or they on a crash course and just going off grid instantaneously. So we never said that. It took years for us to figure out that it wasn't how we was relaying the message to the people. We realized then that it wasn't us, it was the people. We was too real. We was somebody that you could see online actually building. None of us had
Mm-hmm.
ever stood in the background, had a brick and mortar house or some type of dwelling in back of us in a city, and yeah, go off grid, yeah, come on. We had never. We was all when you looked at us, you always see a tree or some wood or something where you could tell we outside. So it got lost with the people. People was trying to find every excuse, not to be out here off grid. They didn't want to share the experience. But if you backtrack within this Black Power community, and it doesn't matter what umbrella you fall underneath, if you were Nation of Islam, if you were Moor, if you were Nuwabian, if you were RBG, if you were straight black pod, if you were just a black person, if you was a militant black, every type of black person underneath the umbrella of recognizing that we're supposed to be race first and melanated and all this and that, they were trying to find they were trying to find a way to escape what the mantra was. And back then, the mantra used to be food, clothing, and shelter. You can ask anybody. That's all you see on Facebook within the RBG community: food, clothing, and shelter, and something about this wicked ass beast. Talking about the white man. That was the mantra, and it went from that to really nothing. You didn't hear anything because once COVID came in, like to me, COVID shut RBG. I didn't hear any brothers talking that tough stuff. Everybody was in the house. Everybody was in the house. So when we reviewed everything, we realized that we were just looking for a scapegoat to not come out here. Because I heard everything from the bugs out here. They say, "Oh, it's too hot. We're gonna come out when it's cold. When it turned cold, oh, it's too cold. We'll wait till it's hot." We went through whole seasons of that with individuals. I had one brother on my page. He would tell me the same time every year he coming out, and then we wouldn't hear nothing from him. So it's like this is just a thing for black people just to be revolutionary voyeurs. I call it revolutionary voyeurism. You sit back and you know all the mantras of hollering revolution, but you like to sit back on your couch and you like to watch somebody else build and hold a gun or do whatever. So it's revolutionary
Mm-hmm.
voyeurism, and we into that. Black man, we heavy into that. That's the overwhelming majority is our voyeurs. They like to watch people do stuff and cheer you on. And there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with that. It's just that you shouldn't scream that mantra anymore because there is going to come a time. We've had small doses of the grid shutting down, power going out, food prices increasing, train derailments, all these different things. If these things happen in small instances and it cause that little bit of shake up, imagine once everything happens at once, or they just go full fledged, or just anything happens, some man made event happens, or a natural disaster happens. We know who's gonna be through. There's gonna be everybody that talk that natural of the ancestors and kings and queens and all that stuff. And they're gonna be the people that's gonna perish.
So, with buying land or acquiring land or even possibly having a situation linking up with someone like you who has land, do people, like you said, they're romanticizing, they're at home in the comfort of their home, they got their house shoes on, they wiggling their toes, you know what I'm saying, they drinking on whatever they drinking on, some type of sweet drink, and they're just romanticizing about building a black nation or being more independent, but they're really, in a sense, not really about that life because it takes hard work. Even though, like, break it down, the you broke it down a little bit, but the physicality of what you're doing, building your
I could
own
jump in
cabins,
too.
having to chop wood, like, anybody chime in, chime in. Cause
I would like Lynette to speak on that because this is
yeah,
somebody who came to our camp and she seen it and then she went and did her own thing.
please do, Linnea. Let it, especially that's dope from a
Yeah,
woman's perspective.
absolutely. So, I saw what Off Grid and his camp, what those brothers were doing out there, and they invited me there for the weekend. And I went out with my children and I saw how their camp was set up, and I saw that everything out there was legit. And so I was like, these are some people that I could learn from. And so they really
Mm,
became my off grid mentors. That's what I called them, my off grid mentors. And so they around Shreveport, Louisiana. I live in Florida. And
okay.
so I found some, land, some acreage here in Florida that I was able to purchase. And we came out and start trying to cultivate it. But like when it was time to like get serious, I reached out to them and Dante came out from Louisiana to my camp in Florida and helped me build my camp up. So like that
Mm,
was wonderful. Like I would just say like they put the action behind their words. They don't just talk. Like they are really knowledgeable, about the life,
right.
and they really, put the work in. So I'm like so grateful for that. So, you know, um, when I say help me build up my camp and cultivate it, I had purchased three 40-foot high cube shipping containers. He
Mm-hmm.
came and helped us frame it out. He came and helped me set up my whole solar system. Right, he helped me set up like irrigation for my plants and like and
Mm,
water and things like that. So it's like when you have food, shelter, water, power, like I have power, you know what I mean? I don't have an
mm-hmm.
electric bill. My lights work 24/7. And
Mm,
so it is hard work, but it's definitely freedom. When you don't owe a water bill and you don't owe a power bill, and the only housing cost you have is your property taxes, which is less than $300 a year. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
So
Then you winning.
economically,
And
you just yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yes, yes, and I work in technology.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked in technology for 17 years. I lead a team of developers, and so like it's another level of freedom. I thought I had a level of freedom because I was working in corporate America, but working in corporate America and saving all your money is a whole nother level. You know what I mean? Of freedom
Mm-hmm.
to be able to do things and share the knowledge and travel and go visit other people's camp because I want to pour what they poured into me to other people who want to go off grid. That's how we are able to judge those people camp, and we know that they lying because when you out here working out here, then you know what the work looks like,
Mm.
and you know
Mm.
what it doesn't. And that's what off grid always say. He said people can say what they want on social media, but until they start swinging a hammer, right, and showing you what they built and showing you what they produced,
Mm-hmm.
then you can believe them. But they're not showing you anything, that they produce. What they do is put together celebrations. When you see people celebrating too early without having built anything, then that's the first red flag for fraud, right?
So people having celebrations on land, but don't got one structure to show any type of proof of ownership.
Right. Yeah, my name is on my deed for my land. I own it.
There we go. There we go. And that seems to be the issue. In a lot of cases, in a lot of other cases, it seems like these people are just putting together a whole. It seems like these people are not like off grid, doing nation building. It seems these people are just great social media editors.
Yes.
Editors and entertainers and fucking
Content
propagandists.
creators. They are
Yeah,
only
yeah.
content creators. Yes, that's it. Yes.
So they builded a black nation on social media that doesn't exist in reality. Is that's what's going on here? It's just hilarious. I'm sorry, y'all. It gets to a point where you just gotta laugh at this shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta laugh at it because it's a shame though. It's a shame though. And let me say this though. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not funny when it comes to people believing in this and investing their money. That's where the buck stops at with ears to the street. Now that's the stuff that without going into a lot of detail, that I'm just a firm believer in when you do bad stuff. You know, I'm not the type of person that believes in all that. I mean, I believe in karma, but I also feel that something should be a little bit more physical. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're dealing with large amounts of money, people hard earned money. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's
People.
egregious.
Yeah, exactly. Um, Off grid. So, what's usually your protocol? Just get scratch the surface a little bit. If there is some people out here who are thinking about doing some off grid stuff, possibly thinking about acquiring some land, what would be some of the first fundamental things that you would probably tell them as advice to get them started, or at least how the right state of mind to head in the right direction, so people would know, because people are trusting the wrong people, and
Yeah.
you're certified. You're certified. You see what I'm saying? So what are just some basic fundamental things you'll tell people, like, okay, this is how you want to kind of approach this thing?
I would say the first thing to keep in mind is that no matter how many YouTube videos you've seen or how many links somebody sent you, your feet has never been at an off-grid camp. So first thing is to really recognize that. Don't romanticize about how you think it's going to be, any of that. Just look at those videos and have a perspective on what you've seen, but never lose focus that you've never been there, especially if you've never even been camping. Because remember, a lot of us, we don't even come from hanging out in our own backyards. There's people who hate
Yeah.
being outside. So, and we got to
Mm-hmm.
accept that. So as long as you stay level headed, that you're not used to anything. You've never urinated outside. You never slept outside. You never done any of that outside. So it's first grasp that. Then if you know someone who goes camping, if you know someone who's off grid, get with them and say, hey, let me come out there. and they're gonna be shocked. They're gonna be like, oh, for real? Because you have to have a certain mind state to want to go out there and experience that. So that would be the first thing I would say. Get your feet wet by going out there, even if it's just camping. Even if you just camp in your own backyard, get a tent, set it up. Spend a whole complete day out there with your grill, everything from sun up to sundown. You know, we talk all this ancestral stuff. You can't. The ancestors they didn't have none of that stuff. So you can go to Walmart, buy your whole kit, and be comfortable. Lawn chairs, blow up, bed, everything. But at least experience that. But if you can get to some place where it's a camp or some type of off-grid area and experience that, and then go out there and ask about, you know, deeds to land, surveying land. Because I mean, when I was listening to the story with the people with that I don't even remember the name of that with that project, because it's like that's how hot that situation got me, where those people, you know, got robbed from their money. But there, when that lady was having land surveyed, like we didn't have anything surveyed over here. Surveying is, you're supposed to, but here's the thing: it depends on how deep in the South you are. People in the South, they still have um that Southern hospitality and that courtesy, and it's real, man. But when you run across people with that, I love it, because I've never experienced that in Jersey, and it damn sure ain't in California. In California, if you look at somebody car too long, you're gonna get a middle finger or a gang sign. Like it ain't no just waving, none of that shit. If you don't know nobody, you don't wave. Out here, it's different. And if you live close, like with us, with our neighbors, this white dude, he said he had his land surveyed. I know he didn't. What he did was he walked, because you can Google map an area, Google map, and it can give you an approximate design of it. And y'all can both walk it, and you can agree on, okay, about to this tree, to that tree, is this area right here. And I believe he's done that. Although he went over a little bit, but we're okay with that, because if he decides to get a survey, or we do, anything that he did that's on our part, we'll gladly take that. So sometimes it can come to your advantage of not really having the area surveyed, unless there's some type of reason where you need to. You want to, you know, keep somebody from entering your land or something like that. But we all get along down here, and we don't trample on his land. He don't come down on ours. But even with
Right,
water
right.
testing, Home Depot has, I believe it's free. You just go to this little stand they got, and you can get these little capsules, and you test the water in your land. Well, you don't test it. You get a sample of the water on your land, and you package it off, and you send it to them, and they tell you what's going on. A lot of stuff you ain't got to pay for, you know. But you won't know this if you're trying to get land, because the Babalabo or the brother 900 acres, you know, he didn't give you this spiel, and they didn't hire Tony Braxton's sister and all these different people, and then you jump on that. You know what I mean? Because when you do that, you throw everything out the window. You throw all logic out the window. You're thinking about my land, my land. You know, I'm gonna have this and that, and then when it actually goes down, it's not that easy. This shit
Right,
right
and that's
here,
Right.
the
it
word
makes you
they use.
use, huh?
They use keyword dog whistles things, right? Like, oh, the vision must go forth, and God sent me here. You know what I mean? Like they use those
Yeah.
keywords to make people really believe that they really that devout in it,
Yeah.
in their religion, right? It could be any religion, but that's really how they get them, because they feel like, oh, they judging the spirit by the spirit, you know, whatever, and they really trust and fall for them because they feel like they have the same faith, they have the same mind, you know, they have other public figures or other social media famous people, you know, with them, and I think, you know, they blindly trust them without like really digging in and doing the full research. But I mean, you know, some of those people are also super scammers, right? Like the scam be so complex. You know, the things that they go through is so outlandish that you be like, wow, you know, that was really, you know, a scam.
Yeah.
Like it was hard. Yeah.
And one of the things that, and this social media thing, you know, with social media being what it is now, and what it's been for the last, maybe I would say 15, 20 years, is that it's a lot of fucking advertisement and marketing. You know what I'm saying? This is marketing schemes. You know, you throw a couple celebrities, you know, to some degree, you know what I'm saying? Like your average person, when they see a celebrity, you know, they would like to meet them, they would like to be in the same room with them, they probably want to get an autograph from them. And if you're that type of person, if you see, oh, we got land or we got whatever, and it's attached to this person, this is something that they've been using like back before social media, by putting, Michael Jordan with a pair of Jordans on. You know what I'm saying? You see how people. I'm from Chicago. People was getting killed over Jordans. You see what I'm saying? But this is like a marketing thing. Oh, we love Michael Jordan. He's the best basketball player. We do the Come Fly With Me documentary where he's flying through the air with the Jordans on. Next thing you know, you got 20 dead teenagers in Chicago because everybody can't afford a pair of Jordans. You see what I'm saying? So these old marketing tactics is just being transferred over to social media. And like I said, these guys are just expert content creators, but they're not getting people the stuff that they supposed to. I watched like I had someone send me some videos. A guy that's deep in the conscious community, got 25 years in the conscious community, know a lot of these guys, sent me some text messages or some videos, and how these people are, oh, you can get 90% off. You can get 90% off this product in a week. It's only $400, but it's 90% off. It usually would be a $2,000 package, but we're gonna give you 99% off, and now you only got to pay $500. And people will send $500 like they getting a fucking deal, when actually the shit that they selling is worth $10, and then you're not gonna even get it anyway because it never shows up. You hit the email, they don't respond to the emails, or you like this shit is crazy. Like I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's crazy. It's all fucking. It's smoke and mirrors, you guys. It's smoke and mirrors. Now, there is some people out here that's like myself, like off grid, who aren't popular like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, a few people know us. We got some pull, but we ain't as popular as some of these people. You know what I'm saying? And we're actually delivering. I was making t-shirts all day today. You see what I'm saying? Got a couple orders. Boom. I'm putting the work in. You're gonna get your order. You know what I'm saying? It costs what it costs. It ain't no discount. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sending it to you, and you're going to get your product. These people aren't even delivering on the stuff that they're promoting. And at what point do you stop being... And this is for, like these clips I post on Instagram, and I post certain ones for the people who see this, so they know, like, look, quit getting fucking scammed and bamboozled out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even, I know you can't, you're not gonna see everything or know everything to always make the best decision. You know what I'm saying? I've had situations where I've sent people money that I've supported, come to find out they's a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? And it don't make you feel good. It don't make you feel good. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta start being a little bit more patient with people and holding back and kind of letting time tell, like, and see what's going on. But yeah, go tap in. Off Grid, you got anything else you want to say?
Yeah, and I would say, like Lene had spoke earlier, because that's something that we learned by trial and error. You can have a million Zoom meetings. I believe I told you the same thing when I first talked with you. You can have a million Zoom meetings. Y'all can provide 1,000 links. Y'all can start donating money to each other in a particular group. But until those people get together and y'all do some work, you will never know who these people are. That is the only way to tell who is who. I swear to you, because you can be who you want to be online. You can have all the right words. You can have that high powerful name. The Arabic name, and you can have the Hotep name. You can do all these things. You can appear to be. You can have the biggest all that shit. You get somebody off grid. Let's say, because we're talking about off grid. If people want to have land and be off grid and everything, you'll be surprised when you get those people down to be who's by too much sun on their back. Some black people holler, I love sun melanin. You get them out there and they complaining that the sun is too hot. Or it's a bug going on. There's a spider over there, or I'm hungry. You see who's lazy. You see a whole lot of things that you would never seen online, and that's where we can go wrong with choosing people by their names or organizations or going off any of that. If you choose somebody based on the work that you're doing, it'll never work. And I've learned this a long time ago. This wasn't my first picnic with this. When I used to live in Hammond, Louisiana, which is 45 minutes from Baton Rouge and 45 minutes from New Orleans, I was introduced. I've always been in the community. I never had any affiliation with any organization because I feel like I could be a one man thing. Because I put my work in as far as reading about what we're supposed to be doing and being on a lot of time practicing that and then living it. And I was hooked up with brother from the Black Panther Party, and he said, "Hey, we got a new recruit down there in New Orleans. I think it was in. I'm not sure. Linnea may know about it more than I do. He was from that area called Pension Town. I don't know if that's like the Eighth Ward or something like that, but he was from Pension Town, and I was given his name, and I was my job was to go down there. I'm going to be the RBG media. I've always been involved with recording. I think we need to see these stories, so I wanted to record the brother down there while he's passing out the Black Panther newspaper and talking with the people. That's good information. That's good footage to get because you get a chance to see what's going on and you get your feet wet. You never know how it is dealing with black people until you deal with black people hands on. So I went down there. Oh, before I down there, me and the brother talked. Now this is the on code, which was the on code part and telling how people are. So we talking now on the level. I should just go down there because I was given the phone number from a good brother, and he was introduced to me from another good brother. So it shouldn't be no problem. But we don't know each other. We don't know each other work or anything. So the brother was the first one to ask me. He say, "Yeah, brother, say how would you feel about if I invited you down here and we go to Starbucks and get a cup of coffee and we talk about what we about to do." So when he told me that, I was like, that sounds like a date. I'm not coming down there to date you. I'm Black Power shit. He was like, "Yeah, brother, we can get along." Because he said I deal with people. They will be online. We'll spend hours and hours on a Zoom meeting on some type of call, video call, and then we'll get together, and then we end up at some restaurant somewhere talking about the same stuff we did online. I ain't down for that. I'll do that with a woman, but I'm not doing that with no dude. I'm not traveling to talk to no dude about some stuff we talk about online. And when we went down there, we handled the business. He walked the streets down there, and I was doing the recording. And that's how it's supposed to go. You would never know what people are about until y'all start actually doing what y'all profess to be doing online. That's the only way to tell. There's no way around it. There's no ancestors can come in and give you a vision. No sage. It's none of that stuff. Go down there and shake hands, meet, and then all right, well, what's our task? And then go from there. It'll tell you everything you need to know.
Right. Nah, I mean, you got to put the work in. You definitely got to put the work in. Now, let me ask you this, and ladies, Michelle and well, I think Michelle's gone, but Linnea and Bonnie, please feel free to hop in whenever you guys want to. But I want to ask you, with Ears to the Street Media and what we're doing, off grid on code Ears to the Street Media, we're making it our priority to basically do investigative reports, if you want to, for lack of a better term, in regards to exactly what's going on, trending topics in a sense, real media, real news stuff, and especially what's been going on in this conscious community with all of the scamming that's been going on. How important is it? Because we already reported on the Mallorys. That's kind of ongoing, but these people raised $200,000. We really haven't seen anything. There's no crosses burning in the front yard. We've heard all this supposed claims of cows being killed and all that, but we really don't see nothing but these people are 200,000 up. And it isn't like, we're knocking anyone's hustle, but is the new hustle acting like you need help from the community and just coming up on 200,000 and you ain't do shit and ain't nothing really happening to you? You know what I'm saying? So as a media platform and a media company, how important is it to you to really dig into these particular situations with all the fake land? People, they cutting ribbons, but you have people that's out of 20, 30, 10, $5,000, these supposed $1 million land deals that never go through. People don't own the land. How important is it to really, to have a black media that's really digging into this stuff and coming with accurate information, being patient, not jumping the gun, and coming with accurate information and receipts to fucking blow these motherfuckers out the water?
Man, it's critical at this point right here. I vow now to use this incident with the Marlene lady in order to push it again. And I've lost steam on it. You know what I mean? I've been talking about black media on Facebook since 2011. As I first came on Facebook, I recognized real quick that we don't have a system set up where you can go somewhere and get pertinent news on what's going on. I realized that real quick, and I wanted to be a part of that. And I tried to assemble a team and everything, and it got shot down because the people wasn't interested in that. They was interested in the whole Hebrew Israelite versus the Kemetic community. They was into that. It was into that stuff. And they didn't want to hear anything about anything that didn't have nothing to do without select that was devoid of celebrityism or movies. It's just like they wanted entertainment. And I'm like, we got all the stuff for that. We need to have something where when something happens, like if we had a black media like we're supposed to have, this incident with Marlena and them, it would have got out so quick. We could have stopped it. We actually could have stopped it because it would have been people on it. But because we don't have one,
I agree
we got to
with
wait until we got to wait till a larger network speaks on it, and then some of us hear about it, and it confirms for others, and then individual people got to do it. It's not supposed to be that way. If we had a real media, people, they would have been able to go to that and say, "What do y'all know about these people right here?" And we can give an honest opinion, and we need to have that set up. So I'm still. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Linnea.
Oh, the builder, and you saw the video, I believe. The builder, from them, he did a Facebook live the other day because he's actually, in the hole. So it wasn't just the people who purchased the land. They went to that man and said, "Hey, we're going to offer you 20 acres of land if you come help us build up our community." And he leveraged his business and his business credit and went and bought a $80,000 excavator, right? And got a note on an excavator, and they were all supposed to like share, in a note, and they never came up with the money. So like that man was not compensated. He's out of the 20 acres that was promised to him, and he still have to pay for this $80,000 excavator, or he's gonna like
Right.
affect his business credit, right? So he trusted them enough, and he had like faith in the vision, right? He bought the vision from them, and he felt like they had 460 acres, But then when he went to the city council meetings and and he learned that they didn't own the land, then that's when he vacated the premises and he left, you know. And he did a live, telling about that story with both of the groups that were involved in that project, right? It wasn't just Marlena. The other group did not pay toward the excavator either,
Now, when you're talking about the other group, you're talking about Hereafter Farms co-founder Ben X and co-founder Farrakhan Muhammad Ali. Is that who you're speaking of?
Yeah, Farrakhan Rogers. Yeah.
Oh, Farrakhan Rod. Right.
Yes.
So, from what I've been seeing, Hereafter Farms, Ben X, Farrakhan Rogers, Farrakhan Muhammad Ali, they've been trying to separate themselves from this Marlena situation, as if they had they went half on some expenses, but they weren't a team in this whole effort. So based off what would you say they were a team effort? They knew exactly what was going on, and that possibly, and Bonnie, please hop in because you're actually one of the people, if you feel comfortable hopping in, Bonnie, you're actually one of the people who lost money in this and don't have a refund or property to show for your purchase. Do you feel like they were a tag team in this thing, and then when things didn't work out, whether it be this, whether it be that, then everyone's just trying to get as far away from Marlena as they want to, as they can be, because we know like she's like the sole person in a sense, but she was working with two other people.
Yes, she was
Right.
working with them. Yes.
Right. And then based off this excavator, he's kind of saying that these people don't even own the land.
No, not at all. Not at all. I had no right to sell it.
Right. I mean, how can you sell land that you don't own, and then you're doing celebrations? You're doing ribbon cutting ceremonies. You got kids running around on the land like this some, what I'm saying, like it's some ancestral burial ground, the Trail of Tears and all this stuff. this shit,
Right.
this shit is fucking
You know what they
hilarious.
did?
It's
They
crazy.
actually had the people who sell like the sheds. They rented the shed for the day and put it on the land so that it wasn't just empty. So they made it look like they already had a home there and they didn't. So they just rented a shed for the day and put it there, and they did a groundbreaking ribbon cutting ceremony in front of that rented structure,
Mm,
and they were in there signing fake deeds.
wow, wow.
They
And
actually had people living in those sheds. So the day of the groundbreaking ceremony, one of the sheds were delivered, and then two others were delivered after that, shortly thereafter the ceremony. But people were living in those sheds. And then there was a family living, a woman and her son living in a tent on the land as well. Those people were paying monthly to live in those sheds, with the exception of one person I know. In exchange, she was working on the land in exchange for living in the cabin. And he had come from Las Vegas. Um, and prior to us finding out that she didn't own the land on one of our calls, maybe like a week or two prior to that coming to a head, the people, I think it was Home Depot, came to repossess the cabins. And people were in the uproar, like, what's going on? And I think either Farrakhan or Marlena came up to the land to pay the people promptly before they could repossess those cabins. And of course, it was all a misunderstanding, according to Marlena. But then weeks after that, that's when the guy came to the property and said they got 15 minutes to get off his land because they're trespassing. So stuff just started going downhill, month after month after month.
so
And
basically, while those people were in that particular cabin and on them tents, they were basically squatting at that point, just unbeknownst to them.
exactly, and that was extremely dangerous. Because
Very.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
extremely dangerous. Those families, we, like I said, we came from all over the U.S. None of us knew each other. None of us knew Marlena, and people were living there. They had uprooted their lives from where they came from to live on this land. And then when they got put off, it was I mean, some people had to chip in and help them out, but it was one particular guy who was put up in a hotel, and she stopped paying his room and board, and he was on the streets for at least 2 days before he could get money to get back home, because he came there on a Greyhound with everything he had.
That's
Man.
I can never, a lot of people will say, "Oh, why would y'all do this? Why would y'all do that? Why would y'all do this? Why would y'all do that?" And this is definitely a cautionary tale to, for people in the future to, be aware when you're investing money and you're investing your emotions and into these social media people, and but I'm always gonna blame the person that's being on bullshit. If you scamming, you know what I'm saying? Like, all to me, 100% of the responsibility falls on you. You know what I'm saying? For the guy, for you, Bonnie, and other people, and this guy from Vegas, it's a learning experience. It's a hard learning experience, a very hard learning experience. But in no shape, form, or fashion, HG would sit here and be like, "Oh, you guys is crazy." Boom, boom, boom. No, it's just like hiring. It's just like going to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay the doctor bill. You're hoping, that the doctor is experienced, trustworthy, and willing to do the best job they can do to get the results you want. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm just not for people, because I've been putting these stories out and I see people in my messages, and, they want to put blame on you guys. And I'm like, what about the people that's doing the scamming? You know what I'm saying? Well, we just chalk them up. Oh, it's a bad world. You should know better. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? We got to do our due diligence. But fuck that. The scammers are the ones that need to be put on blast. Those are the ones that, possibly, what I'm saying, need to be prosecuted criminally,
Right.
civilly, possibly attacked physically. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anybody have anything in the cell, any opinions on how they feel about it?
I want to say this right here. So so people get the gist of it, and this is I'm gonna make it real concise, and I'm gonna be disrespectful, but it's funny because I got jokes, and this part is a laughing matter. These people, they were preyed upon because of the holding of land, and these people had clearly had a plan. I know at first it might have seemed like they were some good people. Maybe they ran into some financial things. There's evidence now that proves that this was a scam. I mean, they're flying people. People were being flown in. Fake internet celebrity people was being flown in and out. People were getting log cabins. Like I got a call today from somebody that's involved with this and got a whole lot more information. And it's like I don't know much about the Benex and the other dude, but it's like I can almost guarantee in a few more weeks you're gonna hear the saga about that part of their thing because it ain't enough money for that right there. It's not enough money for that. The only way it's gonna be is to pull another scam. But currently, right now, it ain't enough money for their venture right now. And I'm gonna be bold and go ahead and say that, and I stand on that. These
Okay.
people
Okay.
they preyed on the people with the land thing, and when we had these again that romanticizing thing, we got it bad. Why do we have the romanticizing thing so much? Because we always listen to somebody on the internet talking about we come from the pyramids, we kings and queens, the ancestors, like this sage, smell it, eat the sea moss, all this shit that don't mean nothing. Your ancestors ate hog moss and chitlins and were smarter and stronger than you today. So it's like people need to realize this stuff when you go on these whole fast things and you need to do this and that. They was able to play off the wordplay of the whole anti-melanin and all that shit. You supposed to do all that shit after you done built the fucking cabin or put your camper there and then you walk around your fire barefoot. Then you talk that shit. These motherfuckers is talking shit on some land that wasn't even theirs. Now, I wish that I knew that white man that came there and told people they got 10, 15 minutes to leave. I wish I knew him. I wish he consulted with me. Because I would have told him to go over there with some chains, go over there with some scissors, cut everybody pants off at the knees, make them look like slaves, chain them up, all that shit. Because they scare people by saying, oh, we need black land, these white folks, this and that. If white people so bad, why that white man gave them 15 minutes? Why he didn't come over there with his gun as he should have? Because I know if we had land and there's some white people over there, I might be urged to go over there with my pistol. So why the white man didn't go over there with all this old nigga shit? Why he didn't go over there? Why he went over there and obviously seen what went on and gave them 15 minutes? Some people say he could have did more. No, he don't. Because you shouldn't be on somebody else's land, period, point blank. You know what I mean?
Right. I
So you
mean,
got to watch yourself with these black celebrity people because they put that fear in you with this the white man is that if it's that serious, you wouldn't be having a ribbon cutting ceremony. Y'all would have went down there and got straight to work. It'd have been no time for ribbon cutting, drum circles, frolicking, burning sage. Hell no. Nah. No, you would have smelled food burning from eating nourishment to feed your bones while you working. That's it. Not no festivities. We been here. We been here 3 years. We ain't had not one shindig over here yet. Nigga, I ain't never seen nobody drunk at our camp. We ain't even had fun here yet.
right, right. What do we say about or what's y'all opinion on the people who possibly were not involved financially with this situation, but were at the ceremony, was at the ceremony, celebrating this fictitious celebration. You know what I'm saying? Ribbon cutting. You know, as if you look at the videos, you see Ben X there. You see, I didn't see the brother Farrakhan Rogers, even though he's co-founder of Hereafter Farms along with Ben X. I seen in the video, I seen, I think it's Blue Pill, he was there. I seen Rizzo Islam there. Queen of Fool was there. You know, they're now. I'm not saying that they're involved financially with this situation. I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to speak on saying I know something that I don't know. I'm not aware of that. But so far as the video and talking about this is a moment for the ancestors and we're running on the land and this is how community's supposed to be, and then you got vendors out there selling, you know, amethyst crystals and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're out there, you know, with the jungle gems for the kids, acting like this is some, you know, some celebration when it's all fictitious. And the people and Bonnie, you were there at that particular celebration, correct?
Yeah, I was there.
In your
Can you tell us
opinion,
about that?
yeah, like just the whole vibe of it, and then to know what you know now, you know, just you know, I know it's not I know it's a painful situation for you. You know what I'm saying? But if you can just elaborate a little bit on it.
So those people that you mentioned, they weren't all there at that particular day, but
Okay.
they were there in support of the vision. I don't
Okay.
think that they knew what was really going on. I honestly think Marlena was the mastermind behind all of this, and I'm gonna tell you why. On March 8th, there was another event that we had when we went down, but it snowed in Atlanta. So we couldn't do everything on the land that we had planned on doing. So here at the farms, split up with from Marlena. They reconvened in Atlanta, which was an hour and a half away from the land, and they were at the Legacy Center, the black house owned by Jay Morrison. But Marlena opted to stay on the land. And when we tried to go with here at the farms to be inside and continue on with the ceremony, she didn't want to do that. So she had called an emergency meeting for everybody that was part of the Lakes of Summersville. So we stayed behind and the others split up to go with here at the farms that came in with them. During that event with Marlena, she had a builder that drives people around on the land just to show people where where they would be and how much land she owned. She said in the vehicle, because she was upset with them, I don't know why, but she was upset, but she said, if Farrakhan keep playing, I won't give him shit. And the guy that I brought down with me that was going to be interested in buying some of the land, he tapped me. We were in the back seat of this truck, and he tapped me, and he was like, "What the hell is she talking about?" I said, "Don't say nothing." He like, "Now that's foul that she said that." But when she said that, I knew at that point she had control. And if she can say she ain't gonna give them shit, that means she still has some control and she knows something that they don't know. And I never asked her anything about that, but it always stuck in my mind that it's something Marlena's not telling everybody. And so from that point on, my friend that I had brought down with me, he said, "Bonnie, if you don't get your money back today, you're gonna be sorry. This is some bullshit." And sure enough, he was telling it. I mean, he was right on.
Now you
But
said.
those,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
go
Continue.
ahead.
No, you
So,
said Farrakhan. Now you talking
mm-hmm.
about. You talking about.
Farrakhan Rogers.
Oh, Farrakhan. Right. Okay.
Yeah, Farrakhan Rogers. So
Okay.
he was the pioneer for Hereafter Farms, and Marlena was with the pioneer for Lakes of Summersville. But that event was a 3-day event, and you were talking about the summer. It was called I think a Summerville Fest or something like that we had, where the bouncy house and all that was. It was just that was here at the farms land. So we spent a day with Lakes of Somerville land, and then the next day we was on here at the farms tract of land, and that's where
Oh,
all that stuff took place.
okay. Now the hereafter farms, and if you know, if you don't mind sharing it, if you're not 100% sure, that's cool. That that land, is that their land? Do they own the land?
No, Marlena had it was 400 acres. This is my understanding of it. And Marlena it was split 50-50. They were selling off their part that they was getting from Marlena. She was selling off her part. They sold off their part first because they have a bigger following. But I'm going to assume that they were giving the money to Marlena under the impression that she had the land locked down. She had acquired the acquisition. Um, then we found out, I think it was maybe in June, that here at the farms was no longer participating, but nobody knew why. We were on a Zoom call and she said they no longer wanted to be a part of it. So we like, what the hell? What happened? As she was real tight-lipped about it. We never found out what had happened until that man came on the land, said that she didn't own the land, they didn't own the land. People had to get off, and then everything started coming out, and now we're like, okay, they must have found out she never owned the land, and she screwed everybody. And
Did
we
she
had a
say
Zoom
that
call.
after the builder had left? Was that after the guy with the excavator had left when the Hereafter Farms
Jamel, he
left?
left. Jamel, he left. I think in that March event. That was the last time we seen or heard about Jamel. He had supposedly ran off with the money and went with here at the farms, and it was a smear campaign against him. She made everybody feel like he ran off with the money that she had given him and start working for here at the farms.
But don't nobody own nothing though. Like so.
Nobody owns anything.
So are you? Do you know if? Okay, so all the people. Now we had the sister Tanny on, and that's only one person I know who said they came in on behalf of Hereafter Farms and is out of $20,000. Are you aware of any other families or individuals who came in on Hereafter side that don't have their money, no refund, and no land either, besides this one person?
No.
Okay. Because I seen a post they posted on their page, and they said that they're aware that some people came in on their side and they're in discussions with them, and that they've been issuing refunds. I'm just trying to see how true that is, because Tanny hasn't got her $20,000 back, and she's came in on the side of Hereafter.
So I think what Tani is saying, that the reason we came in with Marlena was because we trusted Here at the Farms, and because of the collaboration, we thought everything was legit. And when they ran out of land on their side, Marlena still had land on her side. So because we trusted them, we went and partner or venture with her to buy land from her.
Right. So that in my opinion, that holds them accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, there still is no land to be given, right?
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
So all these people, whether they gave their money to Hereafter Farms or they switched over to Marlena, coming in on through Hereafter Farms, like there's still no land. Like, where are all these people? They're owed a refund too, you would think, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I believe that Here at the Farms issued refunds to their people. We had a Zoom call with Farrakhan Rogers, me and about six of the others.
Mm-hmm.
And he said people were refunded. 95% of their people were refunded.
Now,
But they lost money too.
okay, now that's a Zoom call, and he said that.
Mm-hmm.
Have we any confirmation from the people that they receive refunds?
No, none.
See, that's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not gonna fly. That's not gonna fly. You should, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? That's not gonna fly. You should be doing some type of video with these people saying, look, this person got their refund, this person got their refund. You should actually be doing videos for each individual person who invested, had to go through this whole debacle, and then wait on a refund. There should be some type of confirmation of that. We have no confirmation besides the word of the two people who were involved in this whole thing.
But my thing is, if none of their people came forth and said that they're owed money, then I can't dispute what he's saying either.
No,
People
no, no. I get it. I mean, yeah, we gotta take his word for it, I guess. But like, that does, for me, if I would have invested money on Marlena's side, I would just want to know, okay, well, these people got their refund, they're taking responsibility, but I would want to know who these people are. Did you actually get a refund? I don't know. I don't know how I would be able to. Maybe I have to talk to Tanny to see if she knows any other people that came in on Hereafter side, and she should get her refund. If she came in, even though she probably signed up with Marlena, if she came in on behalf of Hereafter side, I think she's owed a refund too. All of you guys are owed refunds, but if Farrakhan Rogers is being honest about giving the Hereafter people their refunds, I feel that she may be in due for a refund as well.
Me personally,
They actually be my bad. They actually should be teaming up Hereafter Farms and Marlene to pay everybody back. But go ahead,
it should be
off grid.
and I don't think Farrakhan Rogers brother paid anybody back because they still owe the brother with the excavator. They still owe him money. They still owe him money.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
He said he said he was there. He said he was there, and he had to come up off of the tractor one day because something was going on with Marlena with some people, and it was $1,200 in question. And Marlena, Ben X, or this Farrakhan dude, none of them had it. He came out his pocket with $1,200 that he'd never been paid back for to this day. So how y'all they doing land shit, and you got a dude that has an excavator. He's helping y'all. That man said it cost him like $500 to get the machine down there because diesel was high at that time, and he's never been paid for it.
Right, and that's a $80,000 machine that is on his credit, and they
eh,
was supposed to
on
go
his
and
credit.
divide it by three. Yeah, and they didn't even make payments on that machine. He got to pay it.
And he took out a loan basically to get the machine for him. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this Farrakhan Ali Muhammad Rogers is claiming that they're issuing out refunds. That's what I seen on the hereafter page. Ben X, in an interview that he did on Pan Africanism Strikes Back, he said in a video that he doesn't handle the financial side of it. You know, is that true? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the inner workings of that business, but if you're a co-founder, I don't see how you wouldn't know about the financial aspect of it. I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how legit that statement is. Yeah, it's crazy, and that's the thing. If they're offering refunds, why does this excavator, why he didn't get his refund? Why is he getting off the tractor in the middle of of working and have to pay $1,200 on behalf of? And that's crazy. I haven't talked to him, but I like to get him on. And that's just crazy how you believe in this vision and you're just willing to come off 1,200, just be like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? It seems like people were trying to work with this woman after the fact, when the shit was kind of falling through, still trying to make this be a possibility. And then from what Jacoby said, she's blocked him. Have you been blocked, Bonnie, from her social media platforms?
Absolutely. I was blocked when I started asking the uncomfortable questions. When we asked uncomfortable questions on our owner Zoom calls, we got blocked from the call. And then we slowly got blocked from Telegram, the Facebook app. So we've been completely isolated, not knowing what the heck's going on. So all we can do is email her and hope that she responds to our request.
Um,
I got a question. I got a question. I got a question for Bonnie.
Go ahead.
Was you aware that Marlena was flying people in using you guys money to fly people in and out for
So
events?
I was not aware that she was using our money, but I was aware that she was flying people in and out, and she had paid for my accommodations when I came up the first time. Um, and I didn't question where she got the money from at that time, but now she even said it. That's what she was doing with the money, which nobody gave her that right to do that. We didn't know.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
And
um,
also, I tripped off the fact that she was. It's like as payment for certain favors, she would just offer people land.
Yeah, that's what.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, the brother Jamel, he said that he was offered land for his services. So in the
absolutely.
end, that man did that work, and he ain't get nothing, and he kicked in some money, that $1,200 that they never paid him back. So
She
so these
she
people are super scammers.
she everything that she did was bartering.
right.
Unbe-
She's like robbing Peter to pay Paul when she has no ownership of anything.
and
Yeah,
again, she was getting work for free in exchange for land she didn't own, unbeknownst to everybody. So like Queen of
yeah.
Fours, she told Queen of Fours she'd give her 22 acres of land in exchange for her. She was supposed to do an event on the land called the City of Wellness. I think it was Juneteenth weekend, and she got donations from Queen of Fours following, and it didn't exist. They were down there on the land, but Queen of Four didn't know she was being scammed by Marlena. And when she found out, it wasn't good for Marlena, but she never came forward. I don't know if she told her following or not, but
Oh, so Queen Afua does know that this was a big scam.
Queen of Four knows that Marlena does not own that land. Yes, she does.
That's crazy.
Yes,
Like,
she had a guy come. There was different people that would come. Some guy named Uncle Drew, he was supposed to do like he would talk about bug out bags and deeds and trust and irrevocable land, and I mean revocable trust, and he was telling us stuff about security and stuff like that. And I think and he donated a van to her, and to my understanding he asked for it back last week, and she told him no, she still needed for the land. So,
Right.
but she was again in exchange for land. Raheem Shabazz. I don't know if you follow him on IG or if you ever heard of him. In
Not
exchange for land, he
familiar.
did marketing. He was supposed to be the marketing guy. No land exists, but she got these services for nothing, But it was all her elaborate hoax, making people think she was giving them land in exchange for, their good deeds.
This
So
this
I
this
wanna.
somebody in the comments, the one brother said it's deeper than what we think. It seemed like each time you hold something about this thing here, it gets deeper and deeper, man. This stuff is sick, man.
Yeah, and I want to answer the brother Canis. We're talking about Farrakhan Muhammad Ali, which also goes by Farrakhan Rogers. IG handle brother Farrakhan, I believe. That's the Farrakhan we talking about. Um, you know, it's just crazy because she was offering land that she didn't have, and people were, and no one really asked any questions. Especially these people with these bigger platforms who just seem like they got caught up in the romanticizing themselves, and it seems unrealistic to me when someone and I don't know, maybe I'm being pessimistic, but if someone was to come to me and say, yeah, um get your following to donate money for this, I'm gonna give you 22 acres. It's like, who comes off 22 acres like just for some publicity? You know what I'm saying? That doesn't seem realistic to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that it's not factual. It's just like, wow, like if that is true, like you fell for that. Like I can understand like you guys investing your money into a vision and not being as not having the notoriety in the sense as like a Queen Afua or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? Who was the other person y'all said they probably, like, let's say that she offered uh Hereafter Farm something, that's why they joined in. Like you would think these people would be a little bit more abreast to it and not put themselves in a position to where she could get over on them. Me, I'm not convinced it's just her. You know what I'm saying? I think it's probably I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to make no assumptions, but Hereafter Farms, I think, was more of a I don't want to say co-conspirator, but maybe a co-conspirator in a sense. But I don't know though. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the 100% accurate information to make a fair assessment on that. I'm just going by what you guys are telling me and based off the research that Off Grid and myself have been doing. And then not telling the community. I think every person who did any type of promotion in any shape, form, or fashion on behalf of this thing owes it to their following to say, look, to say something about this, not just to know that it was some bullshit and then just to fade it into the dark and just keep moving on with business as it goes. Who's to say when the next fucking ceremony comes and we think you guys are doing some black community nationalism type thing and there's a whole bunch of bullshit that's gonna get more people out of 50, 60, $80,000. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So off grid just hopped off. So what are some things we could do to prevent this from happening? Do we just give up on people that's trying to really do the right thing by the community? Like I said, I have an organization, and I know I'm not ready yet. Like I'm still in the infrastructure stages of mine, just building my website, still coming up with a clear, concise plan of action. But I know I wasn't, like with me, I know I wasn't about to try to go after no 400 acres. It seems like too big of a project. You know what I'm saying? Me, I was gonna start off with maybe 3 to 5 acres, see if we can get a small collection of people. You know what I'm saying? Do a couple residentials, you know what I'm saying? Do some agriculture and start off small, something reasonable, something realistic. You know what I'm saying? But what are some things, I'm asking you this, Off Grid, what are some things you know should people just do this on their own, or are these big elaborate or even smaller group community things, are they even worth looking into now? You know what I'm saying? Have these people fucked up the community and the trust of the people so bad that all hope is lost. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about it?
I feel like this damaged a whole lot of people. I read it in one of the comments. Somebody was saying that they did this, and this is going to end up having people, like do things on their own. And I hate to hear that, but you can't tell somebody who got swindled out of some money anything different. They're going to be like, I got took. This shouldn't have happened. This is why you got to do stuff on your own. This is why people can't work together. And I hate to hear that because you know how sometimes I'm sure all of us see it be a post going around how black people can't get houses together because the Mexicans do it this way. They live five to a house and five families to a house and this and that. We always hear somebody talk about that and they say, see, we can't do that because we always do this. You ever notice the black person that says that we can't do this, they've never tried to do that. So that's the first thing. You can't listen to people that didn't try.
Mm-hmm.
The other that is that these people here who lost their money, they tried it. So they can speak. They can say, I tried this with these people. It was Ben X, it was Queen. I call her Queen of Fuya. I call her Queen of Fuya. Queen of Fuya and some Tony Braxton C-list sister.
All right. Trina Braxton.
They brought these people in. So they're gonna be like, hey, we tried this and we got. There, we got. So this is why you must do it alone. I would urge them people to say, look, you just ran into the foul people. It was some mistakes were made. You overlooked some things. Maybe now will be a good time to reevaluate. Like I say, the whole ancestral God body, fifth dimension, CMOS, sage, all that. It would be a chance to just like put that to this. Like, let me tell you, it ain't nothing wrong with. It's nothing being a regular nigga, man. We come from some big old. We still trying to figure out who we are. We still trying to figure out who we are. We obviously we lost the culture. We gained some other people's heritage. It's called acculturation. We went through that. We went through enculturation and acculturation. So we really don't know on a basic level who we are. So we read these books, we read the Malcolm X speaks, we read all these different things. We come from all these different backgrounds, but it's all underneath the umbrella of being black and proud and progressing together. So don't let these bad apples who had some game on how to act like the so-called, devil white man, because that's what happened. If you listen to the tactics, yeah, let me use your excavator machine. I give you like 20 acres. I give you 20 acres. These motherfuckers throwing out acres like they got it. Ain't even got none.
That's what I'm saying. Like damn, like you motherfuckers own counties now, huh? And then I'm looking at.
I'm surprised some brothers wasn't like, hey, baby, I heard it's $40, but I'll give you 40 acres for some of that. It's like it's crazy. This is crazy right here to hear people just throw away acres like they got it, and in the end, nobody owned that land except for that white man that came down there and said, "You Negroes got 15 minutes before I start getting my chains together and showing y'all some land. Y'all gonna be picking my land for real, man. That's." But for anybody that has family members that got caught up in this right here, man, do not let this shake up y'all family. For anybody who did this on solo, don't let it. Believe me, you just ran into, and it happens. It happens. The scam that y'all wouldn't fall for, I fell for it. As good as I pride myself, because like with me, I can tell you off top, and this is documented on social media. I didn't fall for the Umar. I didn't fall for the Tariq. None of them got me to this day. I swear to God, none of them, because I feel there's a certain protocol that you look at. Real concisely, Dr. Umar, I never believed Dr. Umar was scamming the people. I still believe, I never believed he intended to do that. It ended up being that way because you can go through an extreme case of megalomania when you present an idea. We all tell each other, dream big, don't dream small, dream big. So Dr. Umar said, I'm gonna dream big, a boys' school. I'm gonna do it all by myself. Y'all know, can't no one man create no fucking school by himself. You cannot be the principal, the security guard, the groundskeeper, the cafeteria lady, the truant officer. You can't do all that shit at once. Like that's that romanticizing again. Can't no one man operate no whole goddamn school and drive buses and all that shit. Like, get the fuck out of here.
And still got time to fly around and do speeches and shit.
Yeah, so it's like you need a team, and that's where the team come in at. So we didn't ask for the blueprint. I personally had somebody tell me, "Oh, you talk about a blueprint for Dr. Umar's school? That's that white man shit. Give him 2 million, let him do his thing." Here it is now, almost going on year 13. Some of y'all say 10 years, 11 years. There's some people that got documented proof in '09 he was asking for money. So you talking about this shit going on over a decade, and a motherfucker still talk about the HVAC and a window busted. I can show y'all 69 acres where at the most it was 3 brothers down here and several cabins built, chickens running around. Anybody can put up right now and get a meal, and you good. I can guarantee you good for 30 days straight. Swear to God. Beans and rice. We got non-perishable items. You will be good and warm and cool, whatever the temperature is. You'll be the opposite for 30 days. I can guarantee that. So why these people with a big old organization, 50 plus members, motherfuckers passing out acres like it ain't nothing, and in the end it ain't shit. See what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to
Got it.
stop the romanticizing shit. It don't. You can only read with so many books. You can only burn with so many candles. At some point, you got to turn all that Wi-Fi shit off and look at your own regular human body and say what makes sense and what don't make sense. And then you'll quickly get it. This shit don't make sense, but don't let it deter you from linking with people. The proof gonna be in the action. You got to go to where somebody is. You have to see things happening. You got to see. You got to see people. You got to see somebody. I've seen a picture with Ben X with a shovel in his hand, and he raised it up like Black Power. The shovel ain't have a lick of dirt on it.
He
It
got a
wasn't a lick
clean
of dirt
shovel.
on it. It wasn't a
He
piece
got
of
he
dirt
got
on that goddamn shovel.
he got a prop he
Any
got a
man's
prop
gotta have
shovel.
dirt. If a man talking about some off grid shit and this and that, if he ain't got no calluses on his hands, something wrong. Something wrong. Shake his hand. If he ain't got a firm handshake and it feel like he got rocks in his fingers, man, something wrong. He shouldn't have a smooth hand. And you talk about you building some shit. Come on, man.
This nigga,
It
hey,
gotta make sense.
This nigga Ben Next had a prop shovel.
Can I say something?
Please do, please do.
So, with all due respect, we can talk about, and we do, we talk about the negative side of all of our shortcomings as a people. We talk about this stuff all the time amongst each other, social media, all this. I think it would be very helpful to the people to come up to talk about solutions, and the proof is in the pudding. So as a suggestion here, I'm all about solutions. Yes, we know this happened and we can talk about it all day, but what can we do? Who can we show that has been successful at a venture so that people can restore their faith in the Black community, know that it can be done, and know that there are good people within our community. Now, we need to balance this out, because just talking about all the negativity all the time isn't going to help the cause. And I'm thinking about a phrase that I heard from Mother Teresa in a movie or something. She said she would never go to a anti-war rally, but if you invite her to a peace rally, she'd go. So what she's saying is, I'm not going to talk about what I'm against. I'm going to put energy into what I'm for. We are for Black people coming together. So let's talk about people that have brought Black people together under a positive image. Now, there's a Black guy in Atlanta, I think his name is Booker T. Washington. He has successfully built an entire community. He's on Instagram. His cottages. If you go look him up now, he has successfully done this. Booker T. Washington is his name, and I'll tag you guys on it so that you can follow him. Why not interview him, bring him on your show, and say, hey, what did you do? How can more people get involved? We need those type of people in front of us so that we can keep pushing this thing forward. Off grid, what you got going on down there in Louisiana, put that video out there. Get Dante on here too with you, and we can all share your platform so that we can expose you guys and what you got down there doing. Linnea, same thing with you. Tell your story. So that I can
Yeah.
share that to my followers so that they can know this can be done. And I just think we should put more of that out, as opposed to what we don't want. Let's put out what we do want and how successful we can be if we just, show that it can be done.
Yeah, because
Oh,
there are definitely people who are doing it right
Mm-hmm.
now. Yes, in real
No,
time.
absolutely, absolutely,
Absolutely.
beautifully said. And I think with us, these last 3, 4 lives we've done, that's exactly what we're doing. We're in the process of doing that. Yeah, we crack jokes and we go in on the people who we need to go in because people do need to be held accountable. I'm not me personally. I'm not into letting anybody slide on bamboozling people. That's the shit that needs to stop and is gonna stop. And that's why we speak on that negative aspect. But like you said, Bonnie, with us doing these lives, just think, we all met each other online. I'll be down in Louisiana next weekend. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be getting my off grid training. I'm in the process of saving money to buy my own acreage, and then I can start my process with the help of off grid. And now I know you, Bonnie, and we know Linnea. She has Florida off grid situation going on down there. So as we speak, we're making a difference. Like this whole live is making a difference right now. I'm gonna chop this up, put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Let the people see who the people that they need to watch out for, and then shed light on us and let them know we're the guys. We're the ones that's really doing the work. I don't know who this brother Booker T is. I think I may know who he is, but I'm not 100% sure. And then that's the help that Ears to the Street Media needs is people like you, Bonnie and Linnea, to share the video, like the video. You know what I'm saying? We have to support each other and build ourselves up. So we're a powerhouse because we're not powerhouses right now. But these other people that's powerhouses, and I'm not taking nothing away from their grind. But when you watch all those videos I watched of how people aren't getting their products, aren't getting their land and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Then it's up to the community, you guys, and the people that's watching to build us up and give us our opportunity to show, look, we're really doing the work. You see what I'm saying? We really care about the people. When you send us a Cash App or when you buy a product from us, you're gonna get your stuff in the mail. If we go and we have off grid, we have 69 acres that you can pull up on for, he say, up to 30 days if need be, not for a ceremony and then the fucking white man come shut it down. So right now I think we're doing it, and let's continue to do this. Let's continue to build. Let's continue to meet with the right people and show the community that there is good, honest, trustworthy people out here that want to build these black communities, that want to form our own political party, and be more self-sufficient, but also, change things for the better for everything, because I also believe in having self-sufficiency, but I also believe in, we need our people in the system that exists as well with the black national mind state making improvements on our behalf as well. On the real, but beautifully said, Bonnie. Beautifully
Right.
said.
And I like to add that the sister's definitely right on that because we don't want to just get stuck on the negative. We do want to highlight it and the culprits and review the mistakes because in this instance of this thing, the way it happened, it's a lesson learned in it, and we don't want to just skip over it real fast because um, we're just detailing what happened in this specific case right here. But you have to see the similarities in other cases where people cajole people and where they solicit people and people fall into that same routine. The lesson in this is to break up out of that because like one lesson we kept emphasizing on here is that you don't really know how people or what they're doing until you go down there and do the work. That's something that everybody should use. And it's not just for off grid; it's for anything. Anything someone's talking about. If you're online with people and you're in an organization, you're talking about something. At some point in time, y'all should meet up. Y'all should be able to do some of the work that you're talking about online. From this tragic thing happening, good things can come from it. Um, I got shown the brother Jamel video, and I contacted the brother. I talked to him tonight a little bit before this show, and that's a good brother right there. I don't know how I didn't hear from him before this right here. That brother, he has
Yeah.
that machine now. He's an excavator. He said, I thought we was the shit doing what we can do is we can build a cabin in 3 days. That brother told me they can get one up in one day. I respect that right there, boy. I love to hear that. He said
Yep.
one day they can get a cabin built, and that's wonderful. So we now we know of an excavator, a professional brother that has a history that he can show and prove of what he does. We have Linnea down there, and the whole goal is to connect these people. See,
Mm-hmm.
instead of romanticizing about what people talk about and the good content creators, we need to start seeing value in people that's holding something that's foundational. Because as much as we talk about it, as those food prices shoot up, and the air's being messed with these train derailments and all these different things, it ain't nothing like having a place to retreat to, so you can get up out of that, so you can get away from that, so you get a chance to regroup, so
Mm-hmm.
you can do a play, because it's not going to happen where we're currently at. It's not everyone's going to be scrambling. Why not be somewhere where you're going to be scrambling some eggs in the morning, not bodies. You're going to be scrambling some eggs in the morning, and you're going to be able to be in a community, and you have a chance to fight. So that should be the
Yeah.
goal right there. If it's about food, clothing, and shelter, and having land, let's do it. Let's do it together. Some people, I believe anyone who's been jaded by this, if they say, you know what, the hell with that, I'm going on my own, I don't blame you. But if you do, be about your business. But once you get established and it's yours and you feel comfortable, then make sure you reach out, because you don't want to be an island. You don't want to be an island out there like that. It's better when it's connected. It's
Mm-hmm.
better when you can travel these interstates and know that, oh, there's an off-grid camp that I'm familiar with in Florida. There's one over here in Louisiana. There's one over here. And also, don't forget, this ain't no just all-inclusive black thing. You're not welcome just because you are black. Hell motherfucking no. It's a vetting system, because you want to prevent of Johnny come lately people. There's a lot of people that seen us on here. I have family members and personal friends that seen us down here building. I'm talking about day in and day out in sweltering heat, banging that hammer. And as soon as the white men start talking about COVID, they thinking they can just pack their cars up with a Capri Suns and snacks and head down here. Now you can't come down here. We ain't doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to check out. You got to check out. You know what I'm saying? Got to
Check
check
out before
out.
you check in.
Well, I think we laid it down. A powerful panel tonight. I always go through everybody and make sure everybody get their last thoughts, their last opinions on the situation. You know, I appreciate everybody coming on Ears to the Street. You know, we're definitely dedicated toward, really bringing this thing together. You know, like if you know me, you know what I'm saying, or you will get to know me, like my black unity, we can do it thing. I'm all for that. You know, people be telling me like, dude, you out your mind. You better worry about yourself. And I'm like, nah, I'm not giving up on my people. You know what I'm saying? You got all these different races of people who can work together and get things established. You know, not just nationally but globally. You know what I'm saying? You got the head of, whatever Korea, whatever, or some Taiwan or whatever, working with Biden and them, and I know that's on a whole nother level. But these people are making things happen, working together by having some type of camaraderie, some type of mutual benefit with one another, and they're pulling their resources together and they're working together and they're finding and they're getting results. You're not about to sit here and tell me black people are too idiotic to work with each other and get some fucking results. You know what I'm saying? I refuse to believe that the people in the race that I come from aren't as good as any other race that's walking this earth. And that's my piece right there. And anybody got anything to say after that, please do.
I wanted to throw this out there as to where a quick social experiment that anyone can join. Um, as I spoke earlier, there was a story out years ago about the 19 families that had purchased 100 acres. I think Toonsboro in Georgia, somewhere around there, and it was all over social media. And then you didn't hear anything else about it. They was supposed to held some type of meet and greet, or like a off grid meet and greet, or a black meet up and greet, something like that. And you didn't hear anything about that. Then it kind of like faded away. Now they're I think it's called the 19 something. I forget the name, the term that they go by, but they said that they've acquired 500 acres now, and they're pitching this thing. So I would like for people to search that on the internet. I'll try to give it to HD so he can put it on here. But just for a social experiment purpose, watch that video. And again, they were 19 families that had purchased 100 acres, and they disappeared for a while, and then they came back, and now there's 500 acres. Listen to the terminology, watch the video, and just see if you hear the same type of lingo and jargon that you hear in these other things. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Because some of this stuff after a while, it's not rocket science. It's easy to hear. It's easy to hear the key words and key signs of somebody trying to do something that it don't take all these people to do. You can just be clean with people. Hey, there's 100 acres over here. I'm one. Let me find 99 more people. There's nothing wrong with being fair and square with black people. There's nothing wrong. You don't have to hustle black people for that. You can just be fair and square. But we're not experiencing that. So research that the 500 acres, the 19 families. Listen to the video. Listen to what they propose, what they're going to be making down there, and then let's come back and talk about that.
Bet there y'all have it with that particular story right there. Do y'all research, you know what I'm saying, and listen to what's going on with that. Bonnie, Lene, is anything you like to chime in with before we wrap up?
Yeah, on Memorial Day weekend, the guy Jamel, the builder, the developer that rented the equipment for Marlena and here at the farms, he owns acres himself, and he's also selling acres. But on Memorial Day weekend, he's having a primitive camping event on his land, and I'm gonna get some flyers on my page to promote it. But he wants people to come down and learn about, you know, he's gonna have some beekeepers or whatever, some different little workshops, but how to get started with, living off grid. So if anybody's interested, just follow me on Lick My Melanin, and you'll
Okay.
you can see what's gonna happen once
All
I put
right.
it out.
Yeah. I'm a couple hours from Georgia, so that's a possibility. I could possibly meet you if you're gonna be there, and that'll be dope. Like I said, I'll be in Louisiana next weekend. We're off grid. Y'all make sure y'all get in tune with him if you're interested in getting some off grid training. He has the full thing on that. Off grid on code on IG. Linnea, is anything you would like to say before wrapping up?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also, available to answer questions for anybody who is, interested in, the off-grid lifestyle. We didn't talk about it on this show, but like just recently, from November the 19th, I did a 40-day, 40-night road trip where I off grid across America. Like I left Florida, I drove all the way up to as far as Washington State. I went up to Seattle. And I rode through a ton of states. I camped out in the Redwood National Forest by myself. I went on a trip by myself, so it was a solo
Mm,
trip for 40 days. So it's not so much, just buying land, right? Because I am a landowner, but also just, the experience of getting comfortable in your skill set to where you could reproduce it anywhere, right? That's
mm,
extremely important. So, if anybody, has questions about buying land, um, off grid, living and sustainability and, and cultivation and things like that, I'm available. And I mean, they could look on Facebook and search for Linnea Off Grid. They could just see my whole 40-day journey there, be able to contact me on Facebook.
dope. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I follow you and link up with off grid, and because I definitely have a ton of questions for you in regards to buying land because I got a little ways to go, but I'm not that far away from getting my own land. So I'll definitely be in tune with you on that. But man, I appreciate all you guys coming on here tonight. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it. Let's make it a thing to do these and find those right people, find those needles in the haystacks of good upstanding people that share the vision and share the like mind and are really willing to put the work in and get the results that we're looking for without any craziness, without any fraudulent activity, without any lying, without any scamming and all that stuff. Because they're out here, we're some of them right here. You know what I'm saying? And let us be the example, that the community can take heed to. Besides some of these other people that's I don't know what they're doing. But this is Ears to the Street. This is Ears to the Street. Yeah, I got you, Candace. You know what I'm saying? I link up with you and put you in tune with everybody. Um, this is To the Street with Factor Entertainment. Me, I want to thank all my guests, Linnea, Bonnie, Off Grid, Michelle had popped in. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit the like button, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, and share the content. By sharing these videos right here, you're ensuring that you'll give someone the information that they need to possibly avoid something bad happening with them making a decision with trusting someone online. So we out. This is what Factor Entertainment meet, and we out. Peace.
Peace.